Hey, shalom, 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 everyone. Welcome to another live episode of My Take with Rosh Ya'acob. It's been a while since I've been live, so it was good to be back with you guys for another live episode. Just appreciate each and every one of you that's joining me for the live, and for those of y'all who watch on the replay, I thank you all as well. Just want to give a hearty shalom to everyone. Thank everyone for being in the building. Much love and respect to you all. Got a lot to talk about tonight. We'll try to break different things down. So hopefully everything can just be on. So of course this is breaking news. So we're going to start off with our news story for the night and go into those different things, and then we're going to go from there. Just got one news clip tonight. I'm trying to home everything in. So I was going to just have different things, but I said, no, I want to home everything in so it all will fit in line with this. Any other thing that I might want to talk about, I'll talk about at another time. But these are things that are pressing, or I feel is pressing, so we can go on and talk about those things. Had a lot of people commenting and talking about different things or different posts and stuff that I put up. I'm going to talk about that on Wednesday's show. Questions and answers. We finally going to get through the stuff we got to get through on that show. I took a detour last week. People was like, man, why you took that detour last week? I thought you was going to talk about this, that. I said, well, there was stuff going on in the community, and I felt as though I had to talk about the stuff going on in the community because I would look hypocritical talking about stuff outside of the community, but then stuff actually dealing with the community, I'm silence of the lamb on. So I said, I can't be silence of the lamb when it's talking about stuff within the community. So that's why I took that detour on Wednesday. But y'all supported that show. That was one of my most watched shows. So y'all really enjoyed, that my take and the information that was brought out. And if you guys don't know what my take I'm talking about, let me show you what I'm actually talking about that happened on Wednesday. So y'all can see what I am talking about. So on Wednesday, let me show you what I'm looking at. Let me show you guys what I am watching. So on Wednesday, I did this video right here called Malicious Speak, The Dangers of Lashon Hara. Malicious Speak, The Dangers of Lashon Hara, and just talked about Lashon Hara and how it affects us as a community as a whole. So this is the video that I'm speaking on. As you see, it got a good amount of views. I know y'all who got thousands and thousands of views, this might seem like nothing to you, but to me, almost 250 views is a lot. Somebody say like it's nothing to you, but to me, thank you guys. Let's keep it moving. Yes. So even though I kind of detoured off, but y'all showed me that this was really something that was pressing in the community because a lot of you guys did tune in for that show. So again, I appreciate you all. Now, for those of y'all who might don't know who in the world I am, I'm Rosh Ya'acob ben Abraham, Rabbi at Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation. And on this show, we deal with real life situations, things that's happening in the community and around the world, and how it affects us and what we as Yisrael should be doing or how we should be conducting ourselves. And that's what tonight's show is all about. So we're going to jump right into it. But before we get into it, I got to give a shout out to my sponsors. I got the sponsors, the AOC, the Art of Clothing in the building. This got his garment on. This is another one of the fresh shirts that he has, the Art of Clothing. real dope, fresh shirt. He does, guys, a lot of quality work. I got his information in the description, Brother Alex. So if you can, please hit our brother up because he's supporting Torah knowledge. Hey, Shalom Akoti. Shalom Akoti. I thought I was going to be all alone tonight. See, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. You sparked it up. We on our way. Hopefully I got a good one for you tonight, Akoti. Anyway, also, I got from the SGG Simply Gorgeous Glow. I got some products right here for you. You know what I mean? She has a lot of stuff. She has her web pages also in the description below. This is the beard wash for those who like to groom their beards. If you got a beard like me and you want it to be nice and groomed, got the beard wash. And then this is like a nice conditioner. And it's like a moisturizing, conditions and protects and softens, right? So this is something that's nice as well. She has this and more. If it's stuff that the sisters want, she has stuff for you, the sisters. All that stuff is on her webpage. It's all in the description below. Everything is natural, all natural stuff. And I actually can speak for the stuff because I use it. So it's not me talking about something. Now, some people talk about stuff that they never use, like on that episode of Good Times, where Florida was like, James, they want me to lie. Because she never used it or did anything. No, I use this stuff, so I'm not lying. I use it. Try it, because I'm real conscientious about my beard. Want to make sure everything is nice and neat. Make sure my skin is nice and moisturized and all that good stuff. So please hit up our sponsors because they are supporting Torah knowledge. They are supporting Torah knowledge. They want this knowledge to get out. So they standing behind me. So as they stand behind me and standing behind us and standing behind the Torah, let us stand behind them. All right, now with that said and done, I'm just going to let you hear a word from our sponsor. And from that, we will go straight into all the things that we are going to deal with tonight. All right, shalom, 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 everyone. Welcome back. All right, so now we're going to get into it. I know you guys seen the banner, and all of us, we know the solidation that's going on. People aren't used to what's happening, so I'm going to, this news account I felt was fitting to lead us into this discussion, because we're going to see some trauma and turmoil that's going on in the world, and it's all based off of what's going on here in America. So with that being said and done, I'm going to start off our breaking news episode with this viral news story, and then we're going to go in from there. All right, shalom, shalom, everyone. For those of y'all who don't know who this is Amy. Amy Goodman. She is from Democracy Now! I've been watching Democracy Now! For years. This is one of the news outlets that I trust. She brings a lot of good information. And this is the account from today. So I said, wow, this is very fitting for what we're going to talk about. So I want us to see what's happening today in the world today. This is exactly from today. So I know many of y'all may have heard of Democracy Now! You may not have. But if you didn't, this is one news broadcast that I will tell you. And she's grassroots online, all about the people. And you know, she does a good job. Her and Juan Gonzalez, I said his name wrong. Excuse me, Juan. Juan Gonzalez does a really, really great job. And we want to go ahead and start this off.
Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Yemen's health ministry says at least 53 people were killed and dozens of others wounded over the weekend after the United States launched nearly 4 dozen airstrikes against the Houthis.
Yes, y'all heard that correct. Not the state of Israel launching these attacks, but the United States. The United States. Did you know we was at war? Watch this. Check this out.
More than 30 civilians are reportedly among the dead, including 4 children and a woman killed when U.S. bombs struck 2 houses in Yemen's northern Sada province. The Trump administration said it began the attacks after the Houthis resumed drone and missile attacks on ships in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, saying they're acting in solidarity with Palestinians under Israeli siege in Gaza. A Houthi spokesman Sunday.
So remember what if y'all see my other video, remember what President Trump said he would do, said that America was taking over Gaza. Said America was taking over Gaza. So now, it's not just the state of Israel being aided by America fighting against Gaza and other people that they say are supporters of Gaza, but it's actually the United States. It's actually the United States now. I got a video in the description that links up with this where I said this a couple of years ago. I said it was going to get bad. I didn't know it was going to get this bad, but I spoke about this and I said I don't want to be a prophet. But I spoke about this. And and many of us, if not all of us as black people, we already knew what was going to happen. We already had this idea of this, right? We had an idea of this. But we weren't believed. People say you black people don't know what y'all talking about. That's like when we tell other people when they come over here and think this the land of milk and honey, and we be like, it's not what you think it is. And they say, oh, you blacks just lazy, so forth and so on. And we like, lazy? All the stuff y'all got came from us. All these freedoms y'all got that y'all love and enjoy so much, that came from us. We fought for that. Oh, you blacks didn't fight for nothing. Okay. Let's continue saying what's happening over here.
Promised to continue the strikes.
With the help of God Almighty, the Yemeni armed forces will continue to impose a naval blockade on the Israeli enemy and ban its ships in the declared zone of operations until aid and basic needs are delivered to the Gaza Strip.
On social media, President Trump.
Now, so he just want aid and stuff to be sent to the people in the Gaza Strip, right? But Trump already said, get out of there because America taking it over now. It's going to belong to America. We just heard that. Now, he said all he said. Now, watch what President Trump says to all that stuff he just said. You heard him. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. He's preaching. Now, watch what President Trump said he going to do.
Trump vowed to use, quote, overwhelming lethal force like nothing you've have seen before, unquote, against Yemen.
It's going to get bad, people. People, it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad.
A Trump administration official told reporters the attacks on Yemen might continue for weeks. The bombings come even though
the attacks by the United States may happen to Yemen for weeks. Weeks. Ain't that how that started off? It was like, oh, just gonna be a little while, and it's been years now.
Congress has not declared war on Yemen.
So I wanted to make sure y'all had that part. So Congress didn't declare war on Yemen, but yet we at war with Yemen. Let me rewind this. Let's say what Amy has to say again. Let's rewind this a little bit about right here. Now watch this.
Continue for weeks. The bombings come even though Congress has not declared war on Yemen.
In other words, that's not supposed to be happening. Only way you can go to war, Congress got to declare war. You can't just say, hey, I'm going to war. At least that's what I learned in school. Is that what y'all learned in school? Did y'all learn that in school? Can we just go to war without Congress saying, yeah, let's go to war? I don't know. Y'all tell me.
President Trump's invoked an 18th century law to order the deportation of Venezuelan nationals from the United States.
Now, pause that. This is continuing. I don't mean to laugh, but I'm just tripping because people don't get what's happening. But I'm going to let y'all see. This is continuing. We just said he was bombing Yemen. Now, he's deporting Venezuelans. And watch what happens. Watch this.
On Saturday, the Trump administration flew more than 260 immigrants to El Salvador, including over 130 people accused but not convicted of having ties to the gang Tren de Aragua, which Trump has labeled a terrorist organization. The flights came despite a temporary restraining order from U.S. District Judge James Boasberg, who ordered any deportation flights that were currently in the air to turn around.
So, he ordered the deportations. This federal judge says, no, I deny that. And if there's any planes in the air, y'all turn around now. Because I'm the judge, and I said this, that, and the other. Now, who you think the people going to listen to? Let's just think about this for a minute. Are they going to listen to the federal judge? Or the president of the United States? The judge or the president of the United States? I wish I could play that Jeopardy music. I would say if I can find a Jeopardy music. Oh, I gotta get my sound effects in here. Hold on, we'll get my sound effects in here tonight. We're gonna have some fun with this live. Hold on for a minute. Oh, I don't even have. I thought I had the Jeopardy music on there. Yeah, I don't have the Jeopardy music. Anyway, I'm a find it for this, but y'all know how the music go. Y'all tell me who y'all think that they gonna listen to. Let's find out who they listen to.
The Washington Post reports 3 flights bound for El Salvador arrived after the judge's order.
So they still did it, even though the judge said, I order y'all to come back. They ain't listen to that judge. Who he thought he was?
Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele, a Trump ally, shared video on social media showing deportees arriving at a notorious
Now, the guy in Venezuela is an ally of Trump. So watch what he says. Watch what he says to all of this. Watch this. Y'all gonna trip.
Max prison where guards have been accused of gross human rights abuses. President Bukele tweeted, "Oopsie, too late," adding,
he said, "Oopsie, too late," with a laughing emoji. That's what the president of Venezuela said to the judge, talking about turn that flight back around now. Hold on. Let's see what he says.
Gross human rights abuses. President Bukele tweeted, "Oopsie, too late," adding the face with tears of joy emoji. The comment was then retweeted by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and White House Communications Director Stephen Chung.
So they get a kick out of this. He said, "Oopsie, too late." Ha ha ha. I'm going to retweet it. Oopsie, too late. It's probably all over X right now. Y'all probably go on X and look for "Oopsie, too late," and it probably pop right up.
Trump's order is based on the rarely invoked Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which was last used to justify the arrest and internment of 30,000 Japanese, German, and Italian nationals during World War II. We'll have more on this case later in the broadcast with the ACLU's Lee Gallant, who says President Trump's use of the Alien Enemies Act is flat out lawless. The federal judge Boasberg will hold a hearing on why the Trump administration ignored his order today.
So he gonna hold a hearing. He mad. He ain't like that oopsie with the laughing emoji. Oh, that judge ain't like that.
Meanwhile, the New York Times reports the Trump administration could target citizens from up to 43 countries with new travel restrictions that would be broader than those imposed during Trump's first term. A draft list includes 11 countries whose citizens would be flatly barred from U.S. entry. Wow. Afghanistan, Bhutan, Cuba, Iran, Libya, North Korea, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen.
So, if you coming from any of those places, you are barred, buddy. Not letting you in here. That's over. It's over. And all I had to say is, y'all ain't know this was going to happen when y'all voted him in office. Y'all ain't know this was going to happen. Okay.
U.S. immigration agents have arrested another Palestinian student.
Here we go. It's something else happening.
Who participated in Gaza solidarity protests at Columbia University. Laka Cordia, who is from the occupied West Bank, had been on a lapsed student visa. Separately, an Indian national left the U.S. after her enrollment and student visa was unlawfully revoked. Ranjani Srinivasan was expected to graduate this year with a doctoral degree from Columbia's Graduate School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation.
See? Oh, my goodness. Now you've been deported. She's about to graduate with a doctor. She worked hard, did all that stuff. And just like that, it's almost like Thanos with the glove. For those of y'all who are Marvel fans, it's almost like Thanos with that glove on. Just like that. And now you back where you was at. Without anything. That's crazy.
Her lawyer said she was arrested the night students took over what's now known as Hens Hall, though she did not actually participate in that protest. Meanwhile, video has emerged showing the arrest of Mahmoud Khalil last Saturday.
This guy, they just came up and I'm telling you, they just grabbing people. They grabbing people.
By plainclothes officers who did not identify themselves. The video was filmed by his 8-month pregnant wife, Noor Abdullah, whose voice you're hearing in this clip.
Why says, watch her voice.
Can you please specify what agency is taking him, please? Excuse me.
They're
not talking to me. I don't know. Excuse me. The lawyer would like to speak to somebody. Oh my God,
They're not talking to no lawyer.
His wife is an American citizen. Mahmoud Khalil had a green card. On Friday, Khalil's legal team filed a motion seeking his release on bail. He's being held at an ICE immigration facility in Louisiana. More large-scale protests took place across the country over the weekend, demanding ICE release him and defending the right to free speech. Here in New York, Grant Minor, the president of the Student Workers of Columbia, UAW, addressed crowds just days after Minor was fired by Columbia for taking part in anti-war campus protests.
I was expelled and fired for participating in protests. This is...
Now, let's span the crowd, because this is something we're going to be talking about today. Let's span the crowd for a minute. I want y'all to notice something. Y'all see that? See the people protesting about Trump and all the stuff he doing? Let's go back a little further. Y'all see that? See the people protesting? What do y'all notice? Well, what we going to see tonight is y'all going to notice that you're not going to hear a lot about this. I want to say, Amy and them keep up on this. I look at the regular news. I don't hear about this like that on the regular news. You wouldn't even really know much is going on if it wasn't for online. And every now and then they might bring something up. But for the most part, you don't hear about this type of stuff on the regular news. Unless y'all, if y'all heard about it, put it in the chat, put it in the comments. But I didn't hear it. You know why you didn't hear it? You gonna learn in a little bit why you not hearing about this on the regular news like you would think you would. You gonna know in a little bit why you don't hear about it like you would think you would. And like they say, every now and then it'll be a sprinkle. Y'all will get what I mean by a sprinkle. Every now and then it'll be a sprinkle in the audience. And all the videos, if y'all want to see the whole videos, is in the description. I'm not sure how much of Amy clip I'm going to show. I'm going to try to show a little more, and then I'm going to leave the rest up for you to go and watch it. Her show is excellent. Democracy Now! The War and Peace Report.
Anti-war campus protests.
I was expelled and fired for participating in protests. This is a campaign of fear. The purpose of this is to cause fear and to quash the movement to free Palestine on our campuses and across the nation. I'm here to tell you that labor, that students, that everybody here is going to fight back.
The far-right pro-Israeli government group Betar has taken credit for Mahmoud Khalil's arrest and boasts it has a deportation list containing thousands of names that it sent to the Trump administration. Meanwhile, Swarthmore College in Pennsylvania suspended one student as it issued sanctions earlier this month for 15 pro-Palestinian student protesters.
Now, I want y'all to notice that all this stuff is going on, right? All this stuff is going on that y'all hearing from Amy. And please support her channel. I got her stuff in the description as well, Democracy Now! All this stuff going on that y'all hearing from Amy, right? All this stuff going on, right? All this stuff going on. And yet, it's not, oh, you don't see police attacking people. You don't see the violence and the heightened violence that you normally would see. You know why? Because you don't see us out there. Our people not out there. Our people not out there. Our people not up there yelling and in favor. Y'all seen how it was when our people be out there protesting? Our people out there protesting, they be, oh my goodness. They be armed police up there waiting with the batons ready to attack you. You don't see none of that stuff. And I just paused and showed you the different protests. You heard about the protests from Amy and them. It's not big like you don't hear all the police standing up doing XYZ, this, that, other. You don't hear about none of that stuff, right? And it's all because we aren't out there. Now you might say, come on, strangely, we are silent. And everybody's wondering, where's the blacks? Where's the blacks? Where's the FBA? Where's the ADOS? Where's the Hebrews? Where are the West African Jews? Where are they at? Why aren't they fighting with us? Now, they need us to get out there some kind of way and join the protest. So you know what they decided to do? They decided to get this guy. Let me show you what they decided to do. They decided to get this guy. This guy, Ben Shapiro, is representing the Ashkenazic view. He's supposed to be Ashkenazic. He has a kippah on his head, if y'all can't tell. And it seemed like he's representing them. And he's trying to do something to incite us, right? So they're like, okay, the black people aren't incited. They get incited. When Trump became the president, they kind of said, all right, whatever. When the other people said stuff, he said, we Israelites are really not absorbed in all this chaos because we know who we are and whose we are. We know Yah is working behind the scenes. Amen. And that's the thing. We know this, right? So we chilling. We already know, like, this is going the way it was going to go. We already said it was going to go this way. Some of us tried to do the little voting thing, and they voted against us. They voted against us. They said, but what y'all think gonna happen? We vote in this way. And got the guy that's in office. And then expected us to say, all right, well, we still gonna stand with you and do stuff. And we like, no, you on your own, buddy. So watch what he decides to do. This is something that they felt would really enrage us. How dare you suggest such a thing? And Stephen A. almost bit the apple. So we're going to look at Stephen A. almost biting the apple, but watch what he's going to suggest. Watch this. Oh, hold on, I got to unmute it.
Hear those words the man had to say about me. Did I allow?
Hold on, let's go back. We can see the beginning what Stephen A. going to start off with.
Commentator who called for the pardon of police officer Derek Chauvin for the killing of George Floyd.
Yes, that guy I just showed you, Ben Shapiro, he called for the pardon and release. He want Trump, while he's on his pardoning everybody and getting everybody set free from jail. He says, hey, I got somebody you can set free. Let's set free Derek Chauvin. You know, the guy that they said killed George Floyd. Now, all of this is to incite us to be angry. Incite us to be angry, be full of rage. How dare you, Shapiro? And if y'all do this, and then what happened? Then we up in arms, and now we ready to join y'all now. How dare they? And we can all join together under George Floyd and all this other stuff again. That ain't work. But Stephen A. just spoke against what he said. Like, how is he saying this, right? You know we gonna speak against what is being said if it sounds ridiculous. But it's really meant to get us enraged and get us ready to get out with these streets, right? But watch this. So Stephen A. said something about him. Now, what Stephen A. said about him was an attack on him and basically saying, how could he say these things and this, that, and the other. And this guy thinks, okay, one of them bit. Now I'm going to say this, and this is going to hype it up. But let's see what happens.
Chauvin was sentenced to 22.5 years in prison after being convicted of unintentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. I spoke out against Shapiro and those comments on Monday, and he responded with a few choice words of his own. It's only fair that I allow you to hear those words the man had to say about me.
So now we're going to hear what he actually had to say about Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith is one of the deepest racial identitarians in our society. He does it all the time, all the time.
That ain't true.
He does it when he talks sports. It happens literally all the time. If you're talking about Nikola Jokic, the greatest center of our generation, he'll talk about how Nikola Jokic should not be included in conversations for MVP specifically because of his race. The reason Stephen A. Smith is saying this kind of stuff is because he is projecting. He is projecting a racial conversation where none exists. The reason that Stephen A. Smith is exercised over the George Floyd situation is specifically because of a racial narrative that is not predicated on facts. And then he's projecting that into me being some sort of racist for suggesting that the racial narrative should not predominate. This is the whole reason that Black Lives Matter was such a mistake and such a fail. Because it was racializing of a question that was not in fact racial. And this is, again, it's just more evidence that what I'm saying about Chauvin is true. That the reason that Derek Chauvin is in prison right now is because he was the wrong race and George Floyd was the wrong race.
Again, that is not why he's in prison. As Stephen A. is going to say, if y'all look back at the clip. But that's not why he's in prison, right? He's in prison because he was on a man's neck for 9 minutes until that man died. And it wouldn't have mattered what color he was. That's why I always argue that against people that want to say this and that about the cops. They say, what about the cops being white? About the cops, like, no, if it was a black cop. I tell people a lot of times, black cops at times be the worst ones. This is the truth. They be the worst ones at times. So it ain't about color. Yeah, America like to polarize everything about color, this, that, and the other. So they don't hype it up when it's black. But black cops do stuff too to black people. It's the uniform. But anyway, it wouldn't have mattered if it was a black cop. It would still would have been the same thing. So I disagree with him with that. And if it would have been a black cop and a white guy, that black cop would have been right in jail and probably had more time. But I digress.
And because of that, Derek Chauvin is in prison right now. Because here's the dirty little secret. It never would have been a national news story if the races had been reversed, or if both people had been white, or if both people had been black. It would not have been a national news story. And that means that the officer would have been assessed on the facts of the situation rather than on the racial narrative people like Stephen A. Smith were propagating. Okay, meanwhile, again, this is part and parcel of a broader left-wing failure when it comes to narrative. The left-wing narrative has failed on so many fronts.
Good Lord. Damn, Ben Shapiro, I thought I talked fast. I've got nothing on you. Nothing. Good Lord. Let me try to address Ben Shapiro as best as I possibly can.
Now I'm going to let him say what he say, but if y'all want to look at the rest of it, is in the description. I just wanted to touch on that part to get you to see this idea of what's going on. And I'm going to let Stephen A. defend himself real quick in this clip because he's going to say something really interesting that I like, how he's going to address this. Because he's going to let him know. I'm going to let you see how he check him. Stephen A. is smooth, brother. Watch this.
Number one. I'm not accusing you of being a racist, nor am I alluding to it.
Now, watch what he said, because now y'all might say, well, he didn't accuse him or allude to him right or this, that, other. Watch what he said. Watch this. Stephen A. Smooth.
I know close to nothing about you. I've never even listened to one of your shows.
Yeah.
And that may be my loss. Because anybody that's got over 7 million subscribers and has the potency of the voice that you have, you got to be doing something right. Let me tell you a little bit something about me, Ben Shapiro. If I thought you were a racist.
Is that what you said, Cody? I've known a few African Americans who use Shapiro Law Firm to represent them in a range of lawsuits, who have used Shapiro Law Firm to represent them in a range of lawsuits. I hope they realize now who Shapiro really is. Yeah, he says some things, right? And even with that, it's like, and I want y'all to hear what how Stephen ain't gonna get it, because Stephen ain't gonna say he took a lot of time with this. I want y'all to actually watch his video to get the fullness of what he's saying. But he's basically gonna say, you calling me out trying to say I'm a racist on a low, but you don't know nothing about me. Like the way he's positioned, saying, I don't know much about you, so I can't really say this about you. So if vice versa, if I don't know this much about you, and I can't say this about you, you don't know nothing about me. So how you trying to say this stuff about me? Especially when it's not even what's going on with me. And Stephen A is going to break it down. He does an excellent job. But too bad I can't play all of it. I'm just going to play the parts I can play. We want to get a little bit more.
I'd call you a racist.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sugarcoat it.
Nope.
I wouldn't dance around it. I wouldn't allude to it. I'd say so.
Go ahead, brother.
I don't know you.
And he don't know you.
So it's very irresponsible, or it would be very irresponsible for me to say that.
Like it's irresponsible for him.
Having said that, although I will concede that the word irresponsible is not applicable here when it comes to you and what you're saying, the flip side to it, however, is I'm entitled to deduce from what you're saying how wrong I believe you are about something.
Exactly.
And how it and to challenge you on how it makes no sense to me that out of all the things that you could approach President Trump about, since after not supporting him in 2016 and not.
So he said, out of all the things you could have, it's so many things you could have said to President Trump, so many suggestions you should have made. But the one suggestion you decided to make is, hey, let's let Derek Chauvin free. You know, the guy that killed George Floyd, but we're going to say he didn't really do it. Let's let him go free. Get out of here.
Not even voting in the election, because I read up on you about that in 2024, you've campaigned for him, you donated to him, and you voted for him.
Yeah.
And one would surmise you have some kind of relationship with him. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that out of all the things that you could talk to him about, that you could approach him about issuing a pardon for, it does give one cause to pause why the Derek Chauvin case.
Yeah, why Derek Chauvin?
Would be that one.
Why you choose that one, Ben?
See,
Benny boy.
He says, I raised my voice. And oh, by the way, I apologize, Ben Shapiro. Let me dial down the volume so you don't have an excuse for not hearing me. And be calm and cool as I'm talking to you and your listeners and your followers, who I'm sure are quite smart and all that stuff.
Yeah, because you can't get too animated, Stephen. You get too animated, emotional, that they can't hear you. You got to talk peaceful and calm. But I want y'all to just go check out the rest of that interview or the rest of his comments on that, because he's going to get real deep about that. All right, because he has a lot to say. Now, the next thing I want us to do is just look at this, because this is another take on it, and this is coming from our sister, Karen Hunter, and she does an excellent job on her show. And this is something that's coming from her, and I want us to take a look at it and it's gonna also be dealing with Ben Shapiro and some stuff that he is going to say. So we want to touch on that a little bit. So let's go to that. And again, we not attacking nobody. Don't take this as an attack. This is just speaking facts. Why in the world is someone that's representing or that seemingly is representing our religion and in understanding different aspects of how we should view things, actually saying someone that's guilty of such a heinous crime as this guy, oh, he was railroaded and he should be let go because it was all about racialness. Just questions. Just questions. We're just asking questions. Right? So what's this? Karen Hunter is going to have this brother on the show, and he's going to bring the same sentiments. And guess what? He's Jewish. He's a West African Jew, of course, but he's Jewish. And watch what he says right on Karen Hunter's show. Let's watch this.
Me and Karen Hunter is awesome.
The first thing I want to say is this is why it's important to know your history. You know,
and this is his name is Michael Twitty. Now watch this. Watch what he has to say.
Another role that I play is when before COVID and things were a lot more fluid, and there were different times. Even before Trump, like one of my main things was doing historical interpretation, not historic reenactment, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to see somebody play an enslaved person, go see Candace, go see Ben, and then go see these other fools that run around drunk. But I did interpret enslavement, 18th and 19th century, and I still do.
What does that look like, Michael?
So I focused on cooking, and so people would come into cabin, big house, kitchen, other areas, and I laid it down. I would not let people off the hook. I'd just be like, okay, we'd talk about whatever dishes I was making. I'd show them, but I'd say this isn't cute. These are people who lived and died in these spaces. I talked about the kitchen as a space of assault. I need not go any further. I would never let them out of my space without reminding them that the greatest, forgive how this sounds, the greatest commodity in American history before the end of the Civil War was the womb of the black woman. Mm. They didn't want to hear that, but that's the point. I'm not there to make them feel good about enslavement. Never. I'm there to remind them. Yeah. I remember, Karen, there was a gentleman in his brother-in-law and wife in South Carolina, and they were German, and we were doing this big thing, and there was a lady named Miss Kitty who was still around, an elder who was really good at historical. She was older, really good at historical interpretation, and there was this event in historic Brattonsville in South Carolina with a lot of black interpreters that day. We were the majority in this, which could be kind of rare. And so for us, it's community, it's bonding, and it's also truth telling and education. And so he comes to the kitchen and he goes, how do you feel as African Americans talking about slavery and history of your ancestors? How does it make you feel? And I immediately shot back, how do you feel being the first generation born after the Shoah? And he says immediately, the Holocaust was a terrible thing and never should have happened. And there were some 4 or 5 white ladies, older white ladies from South Carolina hanging around. And they just thought this was just so fabulous and fun and wonderful. This plantation nonsense. And we don't do it. The museum doesn't do it to romanticize that. But this is where it got deep. They're over in the corner, kind of like, watching the conversation situation. And I looked them dead in the eye and I said, sir, I'm glad that you feel that way. But the reality is, the average white Southerner would never say the same thing about slavery. And their eyes rolled and they rolled out. And I said, I don't care. It's my job to disrupt those feelings of normalcy and
So basically what he's saying, and I'll let this part play out just so y'all can just hear his background before he starts saying the stuff he says, right? But basically what he was saying was he's sitting there, he reminds this guy of stuff that the Ashkenazi community went through, because the guy asked him about how does it feel to be doing what he's doing and talking about slavery. And then he said, well, how does it feel to be this? Shot back at the guy. And then the guy says what we normally hear about the Holocaust. And his view of it was, I can say that with you, but a white Southerner would never say that about slavery. And it hit home because those women who was white Southerners left because they knew that he was right. So he's like, you know, he doesn't draw back no punches. And I appreciate him for that, because you gotta be that way when people come for you. People come for you the left way, you gotta come back with them the right way.
Romanticism that you have towards the oppression of black people. One of the things that you said earlier, before we had the term anti-black, at least in my vocabulary, what you said before I came on was so amazing. When you was like, we have people making billions of dollars off of hating us.
Mm-hmm.
Rush Limbaugh is in hell. I don't care how many dollars he made, but when he gave him that award, I'm like, why did you give him this Medal of Honor? What, for calling us the N-word in every which way? Yeah. And by the way, this is not almost 48-year-old Michael Twitty talking. This is 18-year-old Michael Twitty talking. When I said one day, I said, let me turn on this Rush Limbaugh fool on TV and see what he's all about. And I said, it was the first one.
And I failing with this because I used to listen to that dude just so I could argue and fuss. It was like he was drawing in. Like, I'd be so angry listening to this Rush Limbaugh guy, and I want to call it on the station and yell. And I think one time I called them because I was trying to talk about something, but they couldn't get to me, but I was ready. I said, I had enough. Dealing with this Rush Limbaugh. I said, I had enough. This dude got on my nerves. Oh my goodness, he was racist. Anyway.
Last time I ever watched that show. And you know why? Because he was making fun of Congressman Major Owens, who was giving a speech about reparations on the congressional floor. And Rush Limbaugh made a joke on his show, a whole riff, about Africans being thrown to sharks. And they were all laughing. And to me, it was just like, I didn't see people. I saw wolves with blood on their teeth, cackling and laughing. I just thought to myself, and he did that from the time I was 18 until what did he die about 4 or 5 years ago? That whole time, he made millions off of our suffering and our subjugation. And I just thought to myself, you know, as somebody who does belong to multiple communities, if Rush Limbaugh had made a Holocaust joke, his ass would have been going the second he made it.
Yeah.
And that's why I hold the mainstream Jewish community accountable.
So wait,
we gotta
hold on, Michael.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
Explain the Sig Heil Nazi salute of Elon Musk and all of them now doing the Sig Heil like it's something to do. Explain the swastika flags that are the Nazi flags that are flying throughout this country and people marching through this country talking about Jews not replacing them. Explain that energy being allowed to, and the ADL is wildly silent, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Right.
Saying,
but you can't say black.
It's like the dude got some dough and they fearful because somebody black, like he gonna bring up a Kanye or one of them and they say that, oh my God, you better apologize now. We gonna cut everything off. You don't hear them dudes saying nothing. Like, oh, Elon just did what he did. Really? He just did what he did. That's how we thinking about that? Yes. It's crazy. Shalom to you, Aki. Shalom. It's crazy. Now, watch this mess. Watch this.
A woman.
Yeah, so why? Why is that? I mean, Kanye's getting a lot of heat.
Yeah,
for putting a swastika on his shirt. But Elon Musk is not necessarily getting heat from the people that should be offended by this.
You know what? The thing about it is we should all be offended by it. But the problem is that inequality of response. why is, I don't have no good blood for Kanye, but the fact of the matter, I can understand that the inequality of response means he gets to hold for burdens that this multi-billionaire doesn't. And okay, so let me go in on this real quick.
Okay.
Here's my little memo, because apartheid Clyde is almost the least of our problems. I see him right now. Well, how he wants to hold his hand is one thing on his arm, but this man literally is enacting something that, you remember Richard Spencer, the Nazi that got punched?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So Richard Spencer is an atheist. He is which matters. I don't care if you believe in God or you don't, but it does matter.
So I'm gonna pause it right there, only for lack of time. I had to get what he talks about Ben Shapiro, so we can get to that part. Again, I have this video in the description for those of y'all who might want to see the whole video. Karen Hunter always does a good job. She has a lot of good guests on. But there's something he's going to say about Shapiro that I want y'all to notice.
He could be pardoned for certain federal things, but not on the state.
Okay, so here we go. Let me go back a little bit.
In marginalized communities. And the way it manifests is always ugly. And then, of course, there's Ben Shapiro, who always has his kippah on, markets himself as an Orthodox Jew.
See? Now, he said the same thing I said. Wasn't me saying it. Wasn't just me. Even in that clip where he was talking about Stephen A., what do you have on his head? A kippah. Had the kippah on his head, right? He models himself as Orthodox. But watch what the brother say. Watch what the brother says.
Finds the time to talk about Lizzo and Cardi B. And personally, I think he'd be the next Thomas Jefferson if he had the chance. That's a whole other issue.
As if, right.
I didn't say nothing. You said something. I didn't say a word. I'll let that oak sit with your shade tree. Listen, but here's the problem. He's trying to convince people he wants to like smoke us out by saying, Derek Chauvin should be pardoned. Well, he can't be pardoned on.
Look what he said. He wants to smoke us out. Who he want to smoke out? FBA, ADOS, Hebrew Israelites, West African Jews. He want to smoke you out. That's the whole point. Why bring up Derek Chauvin? As Stephen A. said, why are you bringing up Derek Chauvin? Well, I say, we got to let Derek Chauvin. Why even bring it into the conversation? Why? Are we going to see some clips later with our people that's woke? And they're going to be saying that we don't mean woke, talking about you part of these different communities. We mean what it really meant when we started the word woke. Another thing I hate, we start something and people take it and they make it mean what they wanted to mean, and now we got to take it and say, oh, it means what they said it mean. No, it means what we said it meant. Don't mean what you said it meant. It meant about black people or people in our community having their third eye open and being able to see things that everybody else can't see. And being able to understand things that everybody else can't understand, things that's just for us, that we are waking up to the knowledge of who we are and what we should be doing. That's what woke mean. Woke don't mean being a part of LGBTQ community. Woke don't mean being part of some movement here and there. That's not what woke mean. That's what America took the term and said, this is what it means, so they can market it to others saying that's what it means. That's not what woke means. So I'm here to take back the definition. That is not what the definition of woke mean. When we say woke, we not thinking about no different communities and this, that, and the other. We saying that your third eye is open. We saying that you are able to see things and you are able to know things, and stuff that was hidden from you are now revealed. We mean something real deep and spiritual when we say woke. We don't just mean, oh, you part of this woke movement, you part of this community, that community. No, that's what they are marketing that woke mean, but that's not what it means. But anyway, I'm gonna let the brother finish. I had to get that out because I hate when people take our terms and turn it into what they wanted to be and give it back to us, and then we regurgitate it like they right. Exactly, Aki. Enjoy. Every time I hear people say, "Oh, the woke," I'm tired of wokeness, and they say, I'm like, that's not even what woke mean. Like, what are you talking about right now? I just be like, I put my hand on my head like, yo, are you serious? We've been saying woke for years. Now all of a sudden these people say woke and they tell us this what woke mean and we gonna take it for what they're saying it means. But what we've been saying it now means this. No, it means what we saying it means. It don't mean what you say it means.
On a state level. He could be pardoned for certain federal things, but not on the state level. But that's not even what's important. What gets me is that Ben Shapiro, that if you're going to be a racist and be a jerk about it, please don't wear a kippah. Please don't wear your tzitzit.
Yeah, so he said, look, you going to be a racist about this? Because he pointed out, you are being racist. Why are you trying to get us excited and angry about the killer of George Floyd being released? And trying to say, oh, you shopping that idea around to President Trump. Hey, you should let Derek Chauvin go free. Why are you doing that? And then when people point it out and say it's racist, that you want to do like you did to Stephen A. and try to shoot back and say, no, you're the racist, and try to turn it around. No. So when you doing that, why are you wearing a kippah? Why are you wearing tzitzits? Why are you seem like you representing Yisrael as you do this? Go ahead, brother.
Your strings. Please don't do any of that, because what you do is you're going out in the world saying, I am stamping this as kosher to behave this way.
And it's not kosher.
Okay, so this is what I got to say to Ben Shapiro. Atzor, which means in Hebrew, stop. Because you are violating several big principles. Number one, Dina del Makuta Dina, the law of the land is a law. What was laid down in judgment is the law, don't touch it. Number two, Jewish principle, Mipnei Darchei Shalom, you should be a pursuer of peace. You are not brought here to especially the idea of trying to foment evil, violence, and disruption, where there is none. And the third principle that he's violating, among many others, is the idea that you should not put a stumbling block before the blind. You should not create problems by, in other words, it means literally to harm someone who is sightless. But figuratively, it also means to create problems with people who don't know what they're talking about on either side. Fomenting negativity, and also creating situations where you have an Elon Musk then amplifying this to create not just the street issue, but just creating injustice. You know, this man murdered this man in front of the world.
Exactly.
So you can't do that. And as far as I'm concerned, he should take that kippah off his head and burn it.
Well, I think he's trying to goad.
Hold up. Karen about to hit it. Karen about to hit what it is. This is where we going next. Karen about to say exactly what he trying to do. Watch Karen. Hold on. Let me rewind that back so we can hear. Watch what Karen says. Watch this.
As far as I'm concerned, he should take that kippah off his head and burn it.
Well, I think he's trying to goad the outrage. I feel like we have agents of chaos who are trying to create this environment for people to be outraged, and it's the way social media works. Social media works on outrage and being offended, and then everyone has an opinion. And I feel like they're trying to get us in the streets.
Yep.
And and we should not fall for it. It's a banana in the tailpipe.
Exactly.
And even if Trump pardons Chauvin, we can't, there's nothing we can do about it.
Nope.
So going into the streets and protesting is not necessarily going to change the condition, even if he's pardoned federally, even if it's some show of some sort of, the way he pardoned all of the folk from January 6th, which we know was an insurrection. All of that is flying in the face of what the Constitution, which they want to dismantle. They want to dismantle the government. They want to bankrupt this country. They want people impoverished because that's how the chaos is there to keep us scared. And then people like Miriam Bowser, they're going to take it away anyway. So stand for something.
Make them work for
something.
it.
Yes. Yes. People need to stand up in this time. So I appreciate the outrage, but how we move should be very strategic.
Yeah, and I'm gonna leave it right there. Y'all want to finish watching the rest of that? I have it in the description. But yeah, it's to get us out there, to get us popped, to get us angry, to get us at this point where we like, I can't believe this, and what are we gonna do, and how dare they? And that's what it's all about, right? All about getting us to that point. That's what it's all about. Just trying to get us riled up into that point where we just so upset and angry.
Have you figured it out yet?
And that's what they want to get us to, right? So now I want to just bring us some of our regular people that's out here, and this is Sister the Empress, and the Empress is she's gonna break down some stuff, and she gonna say it on the same line of what we going on. So now we getting to the close and to the bottom, and going to just hear from our fellow brothers and sisters and the stuff that they're saying. So why she said, have you figured it out yet?
Have you seen it? Have you caught on? Darling, every single day there are large meetings.
We need to be wise as serpents for real. Amen, Akoti. Gotta be wise. Cause they playing a strategic game. That's like I was telling y'all on Shabbat about the movie I seen called Life of a King with Cuba Gooding Jr. in it, right? That movie showed you it's like you gotta be able to work within the system and know the rules and be able to use the stuff with you, because they use them rules against you. You sitting there thinking you got something, and even when it got to the point where the guy wanted him to wild out about different things, he was like, nah, we gotta beat them at their own game. We gotta beat them in the rules. We can't cry and complain and say, woe is me, and you do this and that. No, we gotta do what we gotta do. And I think right now, our people as a whole, is like, without even knowing it, without even thinking, it's like we all are in this unit. That's why I just feel like this is the time right now. I know people said that many times throughout life, but I really feel like after the 400 years was up in 2019, when the 400 years was up, I just feel like all this stuff now was just the time for us to get ourselves together so we can, Mashiach and all this stuff can just come to pass. I just feel like it's just all moving in sync, where we moving in sync without even realizing it. And I'm gonna let our sister talk.
Across multiple states, every single day, thousands of people collectively are meeting. And by meeting, I mean O-test pray, but I can't say the word because I want this to stay up. And you're not seeing it. They're not televising it. They even suppress it on here. You almost have to catch it on a live to see it, because as soon as you make a video, they try to take it down. They don't want people to know. So while on the one hand, yes, they are trying to suppress the fact that people are unhappy, and they're trying to push the false narrative of everybody loves this. But even more nefarious than that, darling, the reason you're not seeing it everywhere is because you're not seeing helicopters, tear gas, rubber bullets, riot gear, SWAT teams, FBI. You want to know why you're not seeing the National Guard deployed on these people that have been gathering in some places every single day for weeks now? It's because it's the frontline demographic that we've been saying needs to go out first this time. They're leaving it alone, and they're not televising it. They're not sending the boots. They're not getting violent with those people.
Yeah, and that's what I said. When we first started looking at it, we seen the book. Remember I paused the protest? They don't really saying if you say the word, they might cut it off. I'm going to leave the word alone in case they might try to cut it off. When you seen the people out there in outrage with the signs up, with the fist in the air and all that stuff, you ain't see us out there. And you ain't really hear nothing about it. You ain't see no violence. Wasn't no police stationed up with the riot gear on ready to get you. It didn't take over the media all over. Remember when Freddie Gray happened here in Baltimore? When the Freddie Gray happened and it took over the news for days, all we heard about was Freddie Gray. And what do they want? And you just seen the people in the street. See? Now that we like, okay, y'all turn. You don't hear nothing.
Because it would ruin the narrative if they go hard on their key demographic. That is why they're trying to bait us to coming out. That's why they're floating the release of Chauvin, and whether they can do it or not isn't the point.
See? That's why they doing it. Oh, we got to release Chauvin. What if we release Chauvin? All this is to get us angry and out there in the streets.
They want us to get upset. That's why you're seeing that little white girl who has the cornrows every single day. All she does is make content talking about black women hate me so much for my braids, and they can't because Vikings invented braids. And like she's wearing cornrows, which is doesn't even matter. I'm not even going to share the video. Point is, she's making money, dumping on us and trying to get us mad. Hey, don't any black women want to debate me about my braids? No, we don't care. We don't care. Wear your braids, baby. We don't care. Do it. Do it. They just want our attention. Exactly. And they want us mad. Yes. They want us egged on, and they want us outside, because as soon as we go outside and join those meetings, that's when they will release the hounds. That's when they will start arresting people. That's when it will get crazy, and that's when you'll see it on TV. When they can... Got it? Okay, when they can make an example of us and then blame all the country's problems on us again, and everything they have to do and all their offensive policies will be because, don't we remember when the brown people went out and rioted after the release of Barabbas, or whatever the hell it is they try to do? So we are sitting back, we're sharing information, we're encouraging y'all, but we are not going on the front lines. And if you noticed, y'all have been on the front lines every single day, and you're not seeing it on the news because they don't want to deploy the dogs on their own. That being said, do we understand the continued assignment?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, Cody. We understand the continued assignment. Yes, we do. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Hold on.
If you're waiting for the cavalry of black people to show up, we're not coming. We're not coming. The only thing we're going to do is vote. We're going to sit back and watch it burn. Yes, we know we're going to get burned too, but we've always been burned, and we will survive.
Yes, we
Y'all
will.
got to do the work. We're not coming. We have put down our swords. We have no more tanks. We have no more protests. The only thing we really going to do is just vote and boycott. That's it. We're not going in the street to protest so they can declare martial law on us and knock our head between the washer and dryer.
Exactly.
We're not coming.
No, we're not.
Please stop calling our names. We're not going to be out there. I see a lot of protests in the world, and I see a lot of non-black people out there. Keep up the good work.
Keep up the good work. Exactly.
I'm so sorry.
Exactly. We not coming. We are not coming.
Black people.
What's this?
We have finally figured out that they emotionally manipulate us in order to justify their nonsense. I am so glad that we not letting them do what they did to us in 2020. It's either we wised up or we all collectively became nihilistic. Regardless, I'm glad that we not letting Musk and his nonsense and all them others get us into a place where we frazzled and upset. We not out here doing the most, talking, yapping. We just withholding the money. Black people, we have finally figured out that they
just withholding the money. That's all. Just withholding the money, you know? That's all.
Hey, buckwheat. They got a protest down the street. Me? Yeah.
And it's supposed to be him trying to show how they try to get us, race baiting us to go down there and get involved. He gonna call that man buckwheat.
They have a protest down the street if you wanna go. You wanna join or something?
No,
you know?
I'm good.
I mean, are you sure? Because they're removing the Black Lives Matter mural off the ground back there in Washington, D.C.
See? That's another thing, remember? They showed them digging up the street. Yo, did y'all see that? They showed them down in D.C. digging the street up, breaking up the Black Lives Matter. All this to get you mad and get you out there. How y'all taking down a Black Lives Matter? Okay. That was it though. He's supposed to get hot. Like, I like how the brother there said it's funny because he brought up the Black Lives Matter. Watch the brother face.
You sure you don't want to go?
Okay.
I mean, don't that make you angry? I know you want to go out there and protest, right?
No, not particularly. I'm good.
Well, you heard that they was trying to pardon Derek Chauvin.
This is all the stuff. This is all the stuff that they did. Like, seriously. All this stuff is what they did to try to get you out there. Like, oh, yeah. Protesting Derek Chauvin. Yeah, they doing this, they doing that, right? All this to get you out there hype and angry and upset. Crazy.
You know, they're trying to pardon him. Don't that make you upset? I mean, I know it makes you want to go out and protest because...
I'm good.
Okay, look, motherfucker, okay? You're interfering with my quota, my black man quota, okay? Now I need...
Well, I'm sorry to hear about your quota, but I'm good.
Okay, look here, fucking Nick. Get your goddamn black ass out there and go protest.
Well, is that necessary?
Just,
I mean, come on, man. Damn.
I'm telling you, man.
Yourself, okay?
Just need you...
I don't want to go protest.
Just go out there and protest, man. That's all I need you to fucking do,
right?
okay? You're killing me.
Damn.
Hey, look,
oh my goodness. He ain't going out there to protest, buddy. He not going out there to protest. Sorry.
Prime example is why black folks aren't moving. I'm going to keep saying this. See, now we move differently. See, they showed y'all in the movies, we had a book. It was called The Green Book and why it was developed.
He said, I'm crying.
See, now we have to go back once again to the memories of our ancestors before us in order for us to move the way that we need to move.
Exactly.
Which is why y'all only see a few speckles out there every once in a while in these protests. But the majority...
And that's why I showed y'all, if y'all go back and look at the Democracy Now! Clip from the description, y'all will see that it's only like a speckle. You might see one or two sprinkled amongst the sea of us out there. And other than that, we ain't out there. You might just see one or two, maybe 4 or 5 on the camera as they span it, right? But for, as far as the way we normally be, no, we not out there. We not out there.
The $2 trillion worth of black dollars, yeah. It's going to snap sooner or later in their heads. Sooner or later, they going to get it. Sooner or later, black folks going to get it. But that's why we're not moving. That is why we're not protesting.
That's
we
why.
don't have First Amendment rights anymore. But we knew that when Donald Trump came down the escalator. And we saw how America welcomed him. Yeah. Prime example is why black folks aren't.
Yeah, he said America welcome. It was like, the savior came, boy.
So I see we got them on the ropes, y'all. They don't know what to do. When I say they don't know what to do, they don't know what to do. We are hitting their bottom line. You got the president of the United States doing a Tesla commercial.
Think about that. I don't think I ever seen a president do a commercial for somebody. You got the president doing a commercial for Tesla. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's what we're doing now? They don't know what to do.
No,
and the reason why they don't know what to do is because we've always been loud and in your face.
See? And that's why Stephen A. said, let me say this nice and calm, because that's how they expect. They expect you to be loud in their face, yelling, wilding out. That's what they expect of you, right? So when you do something different, we doing something different now. You know, like the brothers used to tell me, said the definition of insanity is when you keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different response. You do the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. One day you got to wake up and say, you know what, I'm not going to do it this way no more, because I keep doing it this way and the same thing keep happening. It ain't changing. I keep doing it the same way and the same thing keep happening. We got to do something different.
But now that we're silent, that has them more shook.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can't do anything to us. They don't know what road to take to get to us because we're quiet. They've tried it all, you know, the DEI, the equal opportunity, messing with the SNAP and the Social Security and the Medicare, tearing up the whole Black Lives mural. We don't care.
No, we don't.
Because we knew that y'all didn't think that Black Lives mattered anyway.
Exactly. We already know y'all felt about our lives. So, yeah, we already know. It's not nothing surprising.
Y'all did. Y'all wouldn't have been out there hollering, all lives matter, right? So we already knew that.
Yep.
Them trying to, you know, pardon the old boy that unalived George Floyd, because I'm not going to use his name.
Mm-hmm.
They've tried it all.
Tried it all.
And we're still silent. And that scares them.
Yep.
Our quiet protests scares them so much more than our loud in-your-face protests. We got them on the ropes, y'all. Let's keep this going. Let's keep it going.
And lastly, I just want to just pull up one more brother. Just want to pull up one more brother for us to look at. Let me see. Oh no, hold up, I gotta get that clip. Oh no, that is it. Okay. One more brother for us to look at.
Again. And hopefully for the
this brother, Keith A. Edmondson. Watch what brother Keith say.
last time. We keep telling you, we're not coming. Stop trying to goad us into participation. We don't want no parts of it. We're going to continue fan dancing. We're going to continue doing what we have always done when you do not listen to us, and we all have to suffer. You could have chosen the black woman. You decided not to.
Yeah, so in other words, he said, look, we all knew if you went that other direction, it wouldn't be the way it is now. But y'all said no. Look at what video I got when I talk about this. And I'm going to try to find that video so I can let y'all see what it was. But I talked about this in that video, right? Where the dude said he don't care if he got to vote for Satan himself. He ain't voting for her. And he was excited. And then later on, he like, hey, black people, we need your help. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, man. And even though I don't believe it in a little political system anyway, but just the idea that for the black people that do, they did warn him and say, hey, it's going to be a lot worse than getting with the sister or you know, but they was like, nah, we not rolling with her. Sorry, black people. That's how we gonna roll. And now, as we seen from the breaking news video that I showed y'all, things are even worse. Oh my goodness. Things are worse for them and their causes. But I'm gonna let Brother Keith keep talking.
So no, we're not going to go out here and protest with you. We don't care about protesting with you. We really don't. We know how to survive this. In the 247 years of this country, you ain't never been here before. We have. And since we've been here and we told you what would happen if you ever got here and you didn't listen, well, the FA started after November 5th and the FO is continuing now. Again, and hopefully for the last time.
So this is what's going on. This is what it is. We got our silence, right? Our silence is power. It is, like, it really, really is, people. Our silence is power. So if you've been here, if this is your first time on this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. You can get more content and so forth from here. Please like, share, and subscribe and get more content from here. I just wanted to show y'all the video that I was talking about, where I dealt with this issue about them and what was going on. Let me see, what's the name of it? Let me let y'all see what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at the channel. So many clips on there. I'm trying to make sure I got the right one. So I believe, wow, I can't remember which one it is, people. There's so many. It's either the DEA and the Death of Black History Month. It's either that one or it is Will America Take Over Gaza? Did somebody say Black History Month at the White House? Well, there's a lot of them. I won't find out once I tell y'all which one it was. I don't believe it's the 14th Amendment, which was a good one as well. But definitely, I appreciate each and every one of y'all that's watching live and also that will be watching on a replay. And before I close out, I just want us to hear our artist of the week, still coming from last week, which is Queen Makeda. And of course, y'all know on Wednesday we'll have a new artist of the week to start us up for this week. But I always like to close off on Monday with who we had last week, and that's Queen Makeda with her song Clean Hands. So please give it up for her, our artist of the week.
He made the world.
All right, shalom, 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 everyone. Welcome back again. Thank you, each and every one of you. Want to send a special shout out to Brother Yosef for being on here with us tonight, and also to Sister Anne Marie. Appreciate both of y'all, and anybody else who may have been watching on our other platforms, because we're not just on YouTube, but we're on YouTube, on TikTok. I know I normally get a lot of people that watch on TikTok. So we got a lot of people watching on TikTok. Got YouTube, and of course Facebook. So we're on all three platforms tonight as we went live. I appreciate all of y'all for being on here with us, and I just want to thank you all, and want to just bid you all a Layla Tov, which is good night, and I will see y'all on Wednesday. Shalom.
Shema Yisrael.